because she knew that when she actually really needed them, that they would have no other choice but to have to help her, because she allowed them to get away with so much stuff for so long. So all these things are plots, plans, and plan. The narcissist, whether it's a parent or a spouse, they want you to be their servant. Okay, they want you to take care of them. They want you to give them money. They want you to feed them. They want you to buy these things. And when I start to look back, this is what we have always been. Okay, I mean, even though she's been a foster mother and she's taking care of other people's kids, that is a job. Come on, being a mother, we know, hands down, that is the hardest job in the world. But when it comes to your kids, we have always been of service to her. You understand? The people that worked, the people that had money that was coming in, we were always giving to her. Like she never had a job outside of being a foster mother. You understand? I mean, and I don't, like I said, I don't want to really get into my sibling stories because that's their story to tell. But it all plays a big role into, how things transpired and played out in my life as well. Okay. And so, what Spirit is also saying is that, some of the root work that she's done on all of us, as it relates to the females, is that there was work that was done that required her to have our children. And if she could not have our children, that our children would be taken from us. Okay. And this is for all of our siblings. Now, mind you, none of my brothers have children. And with the narcissist mother, most families are like that. The sons will never have children because that means that they would take all their attention and all their love off of her, which she wants to be the center of everybody's reality. Okay, she wants to have individual families, but she doesn't want the family to come together and be one whole unit. And this is what I was doing. This is what I was bringing us all together, because we used to always be at odds all the time. The one brother not liking one brother, or one brother not liking one sister. And once I went to school and I went to counseling and I started learning about family systems and all these other things, I started to see the dysfunction in our family. And I started to try to create atmospheres where the family could start to come together and get along, even though we may not have addressed, our deficits and our difficulties. I was trying to create atmospheres where the family was at least coming together and, trying to have good times outside of, like Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these other things. And again, what Spirit is telling me now is that I am the head of this family. I am the matriarch comments. That was her again advising me that you're trying to overstep your boundaries. Okay, this is not your family. This is my family, and I'm going to run the family however I want to, the way that I need to. And anybody that imposes that or tries to threaten that, there's going to be, issues. And as a result, like so many things transpired. Okay, now if any of the siblings got married, this is also a part of some of the work that was done. If any of the siblings got married, the marriages would be cursed, and it would be a battle to maintain the marriage. And if you wanted to, like I said, stay in that marriage, it would be a battle, and it would be, hardship and destruction. And then even if you still wanted to keep that spouse, there would be some work to make the spouse just get up and walk away. Okay. And I'm not really going to get into much of that because, I know specifically, like when I went to go see the tarot reader that actually ended up being a voodoo Haitian voodoo priest or whatever, that she gave me money to go see. One of the things that he advised me of was to, when he told me to do some type of cleansing, was to have my husband, who will soon be my ex-husband, to just go away, to walk away. Okay. And I never did it. Okay. So this is a part of, some of the work that has been done on all of us. Okay. None of us have, close friendships. And even if we did have close friendships, those people are also very close with her as well. You understand? So there's all type of mingling in every area, in every aspect of our lives. As it relates to going back to the children, I can remember so vividly when I was going through a really difficult time with my soon-to-be ex-husband, and I was saying, Mom, I need help, can y'all come down here and come get me? This man is getting out of control. He pushed me. He's saying all type of stuff out his mouth, speaking to me reckless. And her comment was, I'm not surprised. Me and one of my siblings, we'll have that baby. And I'm like, so y'all not gonna come and come help me? You'll have the baby? And then there was another incident where I was complaining and buffling and going off about, my ex-husband. And I kept saying, we can't keep doing this to my baby in front of my baby. And she was like, it's not your baby. It's not your baby. And I was like, you know what? You're right. It's our baby. It's me and his babies. You're right about that. And all she kept saying was, it's not your baby. And what Spirit was telling me is that she felt like she had the right to take my child. Now, me and one of my older sisters had a conversation a long time ago. And what she told me is that she felt like my mother was trying to turn her child or her children away against her. Right? Trying to pit them against her, where they felt like they didn't need to respect her. They didn't have to listen to her and all these other things. And once she peeped what was happening, she had to shut that instance down. And so what Spirit is telling to me as it relates to twin flames, the twin flame journey, and all of these other things, right? That my karmic mother knew that, again, the marriage, the children, all these other things, they're a spiritual blessing. They are our inheritance. They are a part of a legacy, a bigger picture. If you are this gifted person and you come from a gifted person, the child has no other choice but to be gifted, right? And so her job, if she's an agent in my life to stop me from elevating and activating and being aware of my gifts and all these other things, then her job is equally the same for my child and any children that I have, okay? And so if she can't turn them or she can't take them, then there are going to be situations and circumstances that will be created that will put you in a position where your child or your children can possibly be taken from you. And this is the scenario that I believe that tried to be played out in my life. My ex-spouse used to say to me all the time, I'm going to call CPS and have them take your child away from you. I'm going to, you're a bad parent. You're not doing things right. Just pretty much dogging you. And what I'm learning, as narcissists, once you become, pregnant and then you have the baby and all these other things, because your attention is no longer focused on them, they can't take it. Your energy is going towards this baby. Your energy is going towards this child. And it's the same thing that holds true for my mother, right? So she then becomes jealous of the baby because why? My attention is no longer focused on her. And like I said, I was the closest to her, okay? I would be the one that would be talking to her on the phone all the time while my other siblings was and they probably already knew who the hell she was. And I was still asleep, okay? They had already seen through the red tape, okay? And, so I was the closest to her. So once I got married, I had the baby and all these other things, again, she's no longer the center of my attention. I'm not running up to where she is trying to figure out. I'm not harrying to send no money and all these other things. And so as such, now there's a jealousy to this baby, right? And Spirit is telling me that she's had evil eyes placed on me and my baby. Like I said in the first video, she had a spirit of, us not being here over my car to make us have instances in that well. Spirit is advising me that she had some women that practice dark magic that come from Africa to come move into my house next door to me to put roots on me and to ultimately make me lose my house. But I didn't lose my house. I ended up selling it to get out of there. But that's when all hell broke loose in my life, really. Once those women moved into the house next door to me. And then I will also start to do I'm going to do a video too as well on a Karmic that is a neighbor that also walks in the succubus energy, and how she used this woman as well, which is what's coming to me from spirit as well. So we are currently at 27 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I don't want to seem like I'm just like venting or like I'm like being a tattletale or whatever, which is crazy because I still feel like, you know, there's some guilt, but Spirit said you can't do that. Again, you're not doing this for malice. This is to enlighten someone else that they need to speak their truth so that they can release it. But it's just like, it's just so much, right? And you're trying to condense it in such a short period of time, but it's meant to help you be able to reflect on your life so that you will not repeat the same lessons. And Spirit is saying what is so important for us to remember as divine feminines is that we came back to this earth, right, from a previous life. Okay, this is a part of a soul contract to come back to this life. And we agreed to go into families that were dysfunctional so that we could awaken to our gifts and utilize our gifts in this lifetime. I know that in previous lifetimes I died early, like in my early 30s or and even in my 20s. My mother died at 17. Okay, so I died earlier on. My mother died earlier on. And so in this lifetime, during this great awakening with this grand conjure, right, to clear up karmic debt, we agreed to come back. And this is what Spirit is telling me and reminding me, that we agreed to come back and experience certain hardships so that it would awaken us, so that we can do the work to clear our bloodline, to break generational curses, to use our gifts for good and not evil, to awaken to gifts that lie dormant in us, and then to create an atmosphere to continue to heal and elevate and activate the world. So when it's all said and done, yes, these karmic mothers, yes, these karmic people that entered our life, whether they were husbands, friends, foes, whomever, Spirit is saying that you have to remember that you cannot carry hate, you cannot carry jealousy, envy, regret, anything. You have to process it, you have to deal with it, and then you have to let it go. But you have to remember that this is a contract that you signed to come back here so that you could be of service to the greater good of all. And when all said and done, you want to know that you were a good servant for the Most High God, the creators of the heaven and the earth. Okay, Spirit said don't feel bad, don't feel discouraged, keep moving, because I thought I was going to feel like immense like I said, shame and guilt for like speaking this truth. But Spirit said you have to keep speaking your truth. You got to keep using your voice. You have to keep talking about these things that have happened to you. Okay, so my next video will be on the karmic spouse, and I'm going to talk about how he pretty much hunted me down, like he sought me out, like yeah, it's pretty much crazy. So my next video again will be on the karmic husband, and I'll talk about how that works, and the process of wanting to breed with you so that they can contaminate your bloodline, so that you don't awaken to your gifts, so that your children won't elevate, and all of these good things. So I hope that this is helpful to someone else. Again, I don't want to be redundant saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I am Valencia. This is Valencia's voice. It echoes in the earth realm. Until next time.